Hi guys, today I'm going to be sharing with you my current favourites. It was supposed to be posted in November. I ran out of time. And so here we are. I'm going to talk about some beauty stuff, I'm going to talk about some skincare stuff, and I'm going to talk about some TV stuff. I'll start with the one thing I don't have in front of me, and the reason for that is it's messy AF. It's the Fanola Blue Shampoo. I've told you about this so many times and I'm talking it to death at the moment. But if you have got similar hair to me, I mean, I think if you've got any kind of blonde hair, potentially, but especially this mid-blonde hair, I find it really difficult to keep the tone. I don't want to go very blonde, but when you stay at this kind of mid-level, it tends to pull warm really quickly and it can get quite orangey. It's not like that yellowy brassiness when you're very blonde, when you're much paler blonde than this. When in these mid-tones, it's kind of, dependent on your hair, it really can pull a lot warmer than just those yellowy tones. The Fanola Blue Shampoo was like a revelation. I didn't realise, I know it's stupid, that blue and purple shampoo do different things. Blue counteracts the more orangey tones and the purple shampoos counteract the more yellowy tones. So purple shampoo is going to do a little for me, but it's mostly going to pick up the lighter sections. These much warmer mid sections here, like the lengths, they need the blue. And so once, probably every 2 or 3 weeks, I just shampoo it with the Fanola Blue Shampoo. I don't even leave it on for very long, maybe like 5 minutes while I'm in the bath. And it's amazing. It's so effective, really cheap from Amazon. I got a massive, I think it's a litre. The only problem is it doesn't fasten properly on the top. The lid is not amazing. And so I like to keep it like really stuffed away so it can't accidentally be knocked over. I wouldn't leave it just like on the bath side. I think I might put it into another shampoo bottle so that it's a little bit easier to access. But that's my only problem with it. Otherwise, it's absolutely amazing. I cannot recommend it enough. Now, on to some things I have in front of me. Lash Sensational Primer. This is the, obviously, mascara primer. Lash Sensational, clues in the title. So many people told me to try this. I tried it, you were all right, it is amazing. I was not into primers at all way back when the L'Oreal did that like double-ended one, the white with the regular mascara on the other end. It never covered it properly. You could always see the white, it wasn't very good, and kind of stuck with me. I didn't want to try a primer, no matter how expensive. Some people were telling me there were various ones from like Lancome and things. You've got to try this. Do I though? I don't even curl my lashes. I've just kind of given up on them as a bit of a bad job. Some mascara is amazing, the Lash Sensational being one of the things, but I didn't really want to make all that effort. This is really, really good, and it's not really that much more effort in the morning to put a little bit of this on. Also means that a lot of the other mascaras that I didn't like as much now work a lot better because I'm effectively priming it with my favourite mascara. So now I don't have to have the Lash Sensational mascara. As it happens, the Lash Sensational mascara has changed. The formula now transfers on me, which it never did before, and thanks to this it means that I can continue to get that same kind of look with, let's say, a Primark mascara, which is amazing. Right, something I'm wearing every single day at the moment because I am on a bit of a kick of put on makeup every single day, maybe apart from weekends, because I'm more productive, I feel better, my self-esteem is higher, my confidence is higher when I'm wearing makeup, when I get up and get ready for the day. I have not been doing this through lockdown. I know a lot of people found this to be really useful. I was like, why am I wasting my time? It really does make a difference to how I feel, to how much work I get done. I'm having to do video calls all the time at work. I feel better when I've got a little bit of makeup on. You know, maybe that's terrible to admit, but I do. And so recently I've been putting on a little bit of concealer, obviously my mascara, maybe a little bit of lip gloss, a little bit of blush, this every single day. This is the Sleek No Limits eyeshadow. It's just a single dark brown eyeshadow, and I use this as an eyeliner. So with an eyeliner brush, I'll just slightly, gently, slightly pull my eye and just run it along the outside. Not all the way in, but like from the middle out, just to kind of define and darken my lash line. It makes so much difference, and it's so, no other eyeshadow, no other nothing. That and a little bit of mascara, and I feel like I don't look as tired. I feel almost like it's, I don't know, like a little mini smoky eye because it's kind of a little bit smudged out. I really love the look, and it's so, so simple. And I think for those of us who have loved liquid liner, gel liner, that kind of cat eye flick liner for years and years, as you get a little bit older, sometimes it gets a little bit more difficult to do that. So I've got droopier eyes than I used to have. I'm only 34, you know, I'm not thinking anything more than is actually happening. I realise I haven't got any incredible signs of ageing, but the difference of 10 years is massive in terms of the skin's elasticity here. This has all fallen, so if I want to do like full liquid liner, I need to make sure it's transfer proof because it's going to end up on my brow. I've always had a hooded lid anyway, but now this skin is also a little bit saggier. So it's just that everything's dragging. Things are a little bit less easy than they used to be. And something like this makes me feel like I used to when I used to be quickly apply a little bit of liquid liner. This is a softer version, it's an easier version, it's something that I can do every day, even when I'm not leaving the house and I think, what's the point? Lip glosses. One of these was on my list, and then the other one made it onto the list as well, because I've been trying to make a list throughout November, the things that I'm really using every day, the things that I'm really enjoying. I usually kind of pull it out of the bag at the last minute, pick some things I've been enjoying, but I really wanted to come to you with stuff that throughout the month I've thought, oh, I must put that on the list. This was one of those things. This is the Fenty Glossy Balm. No, it's not. It's Glossy Bomb. What is it called? Gloss Bomb. The Fenty Gloss Bomb. The colour is Taffy Tease, and it came in a Christmas set with this one and two others. The others I haven't even tried yet. This one I pulled out because I thought it looked quite festive, and I've been wearing that this week, and it's called Ruby Milk. These, I'm going to swatch them for you. I'm wearing Ruby Milk right now, so that should give you an idea. They are so pretty. I mean, you look at that and these look like they're going to be a lot. And I hoped that they wouldn't, and they're not. They are sheer, but just the right amount of colour. As they wear nicely. They don't wear streaky or like in patches. It's so lovely. Just a little bit of colour. The reason I thought Glossy Balm is they are a really balmy texture. Not too sticky, but sticky enough to kind of stick around. But just a sheer wash of colour. So pretty. The other ones in the set, there's like a coffee colour, and then there's one that looks a lot like the Dior Lip Maximizer that I love, the pale pink kind of shimmery one. Those ones, I haven't used them yet, but I'm thinking they're just going to be a bit meh. A bit like when I just want a little bit of a wash of a milky colour, a nude lip. Whereas these ones are a little bit more exciting when you do want a bit of a colour, which is not, it doesn't tend to be me. I think I am more gravitate towards the other two. But these are the standouts, because I feel like the other ones you probably could get a dupe of, whereas these ones, they just seem special to me. Oh, one last beauty item, and that is the Ole Henriksen Transform Sheer Transformation Perfecting Moisturizer. This was sent to me. I have had this several times over the years, and I have paid full price for a massive one because I just loved it so much. And then I started using other things and kind of forgot about it. As with a lot of things that I've rediscovered recently, I've had absolute diehard favourites that I repurchased again and again and again, and then they didn't necessarily fall out of favour, but I just stopped using them, and this was one of those products. So they sent it to me. I didn't specifically say I would like to try this again, but it was in a set, and I thought, okay, let's just see if this is as nice as I remember it. It is. I was trying it with a few other things. I was trying it with the Invigorating Night Transformation Gel, with this on top. Last night, I used this on its own. It just is good stuff. Even completely by itself with no serums, no nothing. My skin feels smoother. I just remember it being, because I've got a lot of pigmentation, it comes and goes, but I have some pigmentation here, usually like around my eyes. Sometimes on my top lip I get a decent amount of pigmentation as well. Makes me look a little bit like I've got a mustache. It's got quite bad in the past here, to the point where, I mean, you can kind of see it there a little bit, but to the point where people have thought that it's my makeup or I've smudged something. And this, historically, has brightened, made everything look a little bit even or more even, and made my skin just feel really, really super smooth. I don't know what's in it. It says multi-fruit acids and antioxidants. So the fruit acids, I'm assuming, are doing the thing. The same thing as like the glycolic and the stuff that smooths that I really like. Whatever it is, I just wanted to throw it out there at this time of year when maybe you might treat yourself to something a little bit more expensive. I'm really enjoying that again. And once upon a time, even when I was on a super tight budget, I would spring for that as one of my only expensive skincare items. Okay, what else do I have? Let me look at my list to make sure I'm not missing anything. I think one more thing, and then we're going to talk about TV. And that one more thing is this. Again, something that if you watch my vlogs or just all of my videos, you will have heard me talk about before. It's the Marks & Spencer Espresso Coffee. Oh, I love this so much. I have a mocha pot, or like a stovetop espresso maker, whatever you want to call it. I tried loads of different coffees, loads of different ground coffees, and loads of them ended up with bits of the coffee grinds in my coffee. I couldn't figure out what exactly I needed to make it work. I really liked the coffee, but it just wasn't, there was something missing from that. I tried this. Part of what I think was missing was I was using these medium roasts that are more like a cafetiere, like a long coffee, a tall, like an Americano. And what I really wanted was an espresso. And when I used this one, everything kind of fell into place. I don't get the coffee grinds in my mocha pot anymore, or I don't get them in my cup from my mocha pot anymore. And it's a much stronger coffee. So I can have it, I personally like an extra shot of coffee when I have a latte from Costa, for example. So I do like it a little bit stronger, but when I have it with a lot of milk, which I would have for a latte, this just is better. Everything else was just very meh, and this is not particularly expensive. I think it's £2.50. The whole thing could last me 2 weeks, and I drink a lot of coffee. I don't know if you can tell, but, oh, I have one more thing. I just wanted to throw it out there for those of you who maybe haven't heard me talk about it, because I think it's really amazing. And just while we're talking about Marks & Spencer, if, like us, your Christmas has now changed completely because you're in tier 3 and you're basically not allowed to do anything apart from go to the shops, I can't recommend enough going to Marks & Spencer and just getting some little fancy bits. It just makes you feel super bougie, and some of the normal stuff that you would have, bread for example, it just feels bougie to buy it from Marks & Spencer, but also it is better. I don't know what they do. It's like, this is not just Marks & Spencer's bread, or rather this is not just bread, this is Marks & Spencer bread. Those adverts were legit. Okay, but we now can't go out for dinner, for example. We can't go out for Christmas dinner, which was always a plan. And now we're going to be ordering some bits for Christmas Day. There's only 4 of us from Marks & Spencer. Just feel, you know, there's not a lot we can treat ourselves to right now, is there? Okay, this is kind of gross, but I'm showing you it anyway. It's clean. It's a metal foot file. I am quite diligent with pedicures and like foot care in general. I really do try to keep my dead skin to a minimum. Probably once a week I soak my feet and like file them in front of the TV. I know, that's really grim. I apologise, but it's true, that's what I do. And then I'll use like Heel Genius or like from Soap and Glory, or the one, I like the Heel Balm from Sanctuary. It's very, very similar. And just kind of like lie out, edit some videos, do whatever it is I'm going to do, just that I don't have to walk around. I can't wear socks at night time. That is like an impossibility because I have hot feet, cold feet during the day these days, and incredibly hot feet at night. I could still have a fan on all year round. I don't, because I think Lee would die of pneumonia because he is very nesh compared to me. But I have spent hours and hours and hours, days and days, weeks and weeks, months and months over my entire life trying to buff away the hard skin. And bear in mind, I am diligent. I'm not letting it get to a crazy state or anything. I am on it. But I've spent so much time of my life trying to buff it away with pumice stones and, you know, regular foot files. I was scared of these. These are amazing. These are amazing. They make such light work. I go over my feet with this, and then I go over with an actual foot file once they're dry. Game changer. Can't recommend it enough. As I say always, in my favourites. But I really do think that's amazing. Okay, now we're going to go to TV. I'll just look at my notes. Number 1. Oh, there's one more thing as well. I'll mention it just in passing, but I have mentioned it a million times before. Seche. I don't have my nails painted right now because I was unboxing some stuff earlier and I knew that I would ruin my nails. I've been wearing a gold glitter recently with Seche over the top. And whenever I wear it, it's a top coat. Whenever I wear it, people ask me about the gels that I'm wearing. It's a really amazing, super fast drying. You don't even have to wait for the nail polish underneath to dry all the way because it somehow hardens the whole, like all the layers. It's amazing, amazing. It does shrink a little bit, so you need to make sure that you go all the way to the edges and then cap all of the nails, but it will be the best top coat you've ever used in your entire life. Especially right now. I mean, when you watch this, I think we'll be out of lockdown again. I'm not 100% sure at this point whether or not my nail tech is open, but I think she is, and I have an appointment if she is. So they'll be back, but in the meantime, I've been doing my own nails and Seche. I had to buy another bottle because it's amazing. Okay, so now to TV. Brothers and Sisters is on Prime. If you haven't seen it already, watch it. I must have rewatched that show 3 or 4 times over the years. It's great. Callista Flockhart, Sally Field, Rob Lowe. It's just good times. It's also very relevant to right now because it's a political-ish show. Politics is like a theme that runs throughout, and multiple family members believe different things. Now, whether this is like specific to politics or COVID or whatever, you know, the lockdowns and all that stuff, I know that lots of people are dealing with opposing opinions from friends and family right now. And I think it's nice. I mean, this is a show that was made like 10, 15 years ago. It's nice to watch something that acknowledges that sometimes friends and family have different opinions to you about major issues, and you can still speak to each other and deal with each other and love each other in spite of those differences. So that's kind of why I'm throwing that out. I started watching it and was like, oh, I'm remembering why this is so great. But it is just a great show anyway. It was like the great show that nobody was watching in the UK. Also, you're going to need a glass of wine while you watch it because they're always drinking wine. I don't even know what that says. The Crown! As of filming, I still haven't seen the end of season 4 because I'm like eking it out. I watched, when season 4 came out, I watched all 3 again. And then I'm like allowing myself little bits of season 4 because it just doesn't last long enough. 10 episodes is not enough. The Crown, I've been trying to get my mum to watch since it came out. She worries that it's going to be like anti-royal or it's going to annoy her because of the inaccuracies or whatever. I don't think it's anti-royal. I think that you have to take it with a pinch of salt because some of it is sensationalized. Some of it's like, you know, a TV version. Some of it's not real, but you can Google it. Everyone fact checks this stuff online. There's so many articles, websites dedicated to fact checking what is happening in the Crown. If you want to know a part of it, was this real? Was that real? You can find out. It's dead easy. But the stuff that is real is put into a really, it's like an easy to digest way of learning some stuff about our history and history abroad. I've learned things through watching The Crown that I didn't even know about. There were certain things that had happened in history because obviously it's prior to me being born. And it obviously didn't stick out to me if we learned about it at school. But it's been really enlightening. Aside from that, the relationship stuff, I really love the first 2 seasons. The second season particularly is like watching therapy sessions. This is why I like reality TV, because I like to watch stuff unfold and be like, oh, this person is like this because of this, and this is how they're dealing with that. And from that aspect, watching how the relationships change when she becomes the queen, how they deal with that was really interesting to me. That's the thing that really kept me. Plus I love Princess Margaret in a big way. Talking of reality shows, Below Deck. We've been watching Below Deck Med this month because we've watched all of Below Deck, apart from the newest season, which we're watching when it all comes out because we're going to want to binge the entire season. Love Below Deck Med. Didn't think we were going to like it as much because I love Kate Chastain with all of my heart. She's an evil queen, but I do love the character of Kate Chastain. Not so much Hannah. Not really gelling with Hannah. And Chef Ben also really irritates me now, whereas I used to love him. Not so much anymore. His dalliance with that stew, which she called M's, really put me off him. But we do love Below Deck. Lee is a reality TV fiend. He watches more of it than I do, and he also really likes Below Deck. And lastly, I've been watching the Scientology documentary on Prime with Leah Remini. That's been on my list to watch forever. I've watched loads of other documentaries specific to Scientology about like the whole process. This is how it all works. But her documentary is a series where she's basically visiting people who have left the church, and they're all talking about their own experiences. And it's absolutely fascinating to hear from the inside, like, why did you do this? Why, when you heard this, did you not believe this? It's so interesting to me, and I think it would probably be interesting to you as well, to try and understand why someone would be in a church like that for so long when we on the outside hear everything that we hear, and you can read all these articles and, oh my God, this sounds terrible. Why would someone be a part of this? Because they believe. Because they believe that everything that's being written or said about the church is inaccurate. They are being indoctrinated, but also they believe because of various other, like, they've been told they're doing good things. It's just so interesting. And I think if you like, I'm very, very fascinated by religion. I will talk about religion all day long. I'm not a religious person, but I have nothing against religion. I think it would be great to have something to believe in. especially in times like this. But I just find it so interesting to hear people talk about like the way things are in a specific religion, and especially something like that that's so criticised, so openly criticised. They don't even know it's being criticised because they're so shut off from everything. Super interesting. And that's it, she says, after talking for what feels like 3 hours. That's everything that I wanted to recommend to you if you are stuck in the house in December, bored in the house bored. Definitely these TV shows. Check them out, check them out. If you haven't watched Schitt's Creek yet, I always feel like, you know, should I even mention it because everyone's watched it? If you haven't, definitely watch that. But otherwise, some other things I wanted to recommend, 1,000,000%. I have lots of festive content coming your way very, very soon. And if you didn't already know and you've got this far, I'm vlogging every single day over on my other channel. So wherever that is, down there, go and check that out and there will be an abundance of vlogs to already catch up on. Thanks for watching and I will see you guys next time. Bye!